This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Welcome back to the show. July is Disability Pride Month. It's a time to recognize the contributions of people with disabilities and celebrate disability as an important part of the diversity that strengthens our communities. Joining us today are Dr. Kristen Padilla, and she is the director of Baylor University's Center for Disability and Flourishing, and Kari Maddox, who is program manager for the statewide research initiative, Raising Texas Voices. We're going to talk about why listening matters and how research can improve lives and how Texans can shape a more inclusive future. So welcome, both of you, to the show.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to get to learn more about this Baylor Center for Disabilities and Flourishing. Had the chance to visit with one of your colleagues about the Arts Center and the wonderful programs that they're doing there. I'd never even heard of your department before. So I'm delighted to get to visit with you. First of all, Dr. Padilla, let's talk about Disability Pride Month. What does it mean to you personally, and why is it important to recognize this?
Well, one, I'm very thankful that it is a month that we do recognize, and that it is there's more awareness around it, especially in the last couple of years. So we're really excited about that. To me personally, Disability Pride Month, it really just gives us an opportunity to celebrate people with disabilities and to recognize, like you mentioned, that disability is a valuable part to human diversity. When you think about the Americans with Disabilities Act, it was signed over 30 years ago.
Many years
ago. And at that time, it afforded some opportunities for people with disabilities and opened the doors for this population. But there is still a lot of work to be done so that people with disabilities and their families can really fully participate in the communities that are important to them. And this month gives us that opportunity to raise awareness, to recognize the valuable gifts that people with disabilities contribute, so that way everyone can flourish in our communities together, people with and without disabilities. Yeah. And that's what we really try to foster at the Center for Disability and Flourishing, is that we envision a world where people with and without disabilities can live, learn, work, and worship as one. And
I love the inclusion of that word, flourishing. You don't hear it a lot, really, but there's so much meaning packed into it. Kari, from your perspective, working with families and communities, why is this month meaningful to you?
Well, I have a really personal stake in the matter. I have 3 beautiful kids. Our middle daughter, Emmy, was diagnosed with autism right before she turned 3. And so being able to, disability is a part of our everyday life, Monday through Sunday. But really being able to think about Emmy, and during this month, think about all the wonderful things that she brings to our family and to the world, and really wanting to highlight that without her, you were missing something really special. And so I believe that, of course, for our daughter and our family, but I believe it for the disability community, in Texas and everywhere, that to not have these people a part of your everyday life, you are missing out. And so taking this month to say, we should be proud, we should honor, we should be excited, we should highlight what they're doing is special.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So tell us about the center, the Baylor Center for Disability and Flourishing. What is the mission behind it?
So our center exists to promote the flourishing of people with disabilities by connecting real world impact through the rigorous research that we conduct. So what does that mean? So through our researchers, our faculty and staff at the university, we use our knowledge, our research, the expertise that we have to translate that into digestible, practical resources, tip sheets, and guides for the community that we aim to serve.
Yes.
And
one of the big initiatives, Kari, is this Raising Texas Voices. So tell me, what exactly is this project?
Yeah, so Raising Texas Voices is a research study. It's being funded by the Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities and being led by the center. And so what it is, we are asking the people with disabilities, their families, their parents or caregivers, their siblings, what matters most to them. We are wanting to know, what does advocacy mean to you? What does that look like in your everyday life? And then also, what kind of language do you prefer when you're talking about yourself, a person with a disability? What language do you use, or what language do you wish people would stop using?
Give me some examples.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's some differences between kind of this person first language and saying things like if I were to talk about my daughter Emmy, my husband and I have always emphasized that she's a person first, right?
Sure.
She's
Well, of
Emmy
course she is.
first, and then she, was diagnosed with autism. And so I would say, this is my daughter Emmy. She has autism. But some people prefer to say, I am an autistic adult. And so, being able to, through our surveys, share what you prefer.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And so we also are looking at how you like to learn about new opportunities. So like for me as a parent, there's always something new to learn, right? A new maybe training to go to, or a conference to attend to learn more about what are the resources for Emmy. And so we are wanting to know, how do you want to learn about those opportunities? Do you want to hear about it on social media? Would you rather hear about it from a doctor? So who are those trusted sources? And so everything that we do learn from people taking our surveys, that will, of course, be analyzed and, put in a way to understand. And we will share that back with the Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities and organizations all across the state, so that things can start to get better for the disability community in Texas.
Yeah, that is so interesting. I remember when we were in the newsroom, there were some changes in language, and what AP style book would say was, I remember a big one was wheelchair bound. You were never supposed to refer to someone as, just things like that. And it probably came out of these kinds of studies, and as to what people preferred in a descriptor or whatever.
And, the unique thing about our study is that we're asking the people who live it every day, what do you prefer?
Yeah.
What does it look like to advocate for yourself or for your son or daughter or for your sibling? When we started our journey with our daughter, I would often say to my husband, I wish someone would just ask us. I wish they would ask us what we need, or I wish someone would just say, what has it been like for you? And so if I'm talking to a parent about the study, I often say, we're asking and we want to know, because we want things to improve in the state for you and for others.
Wow. Your center uses flourishing in the title, rather than simply overcoming barriers. So what does flourishing look like for individuals, families, for communities?
I think it could look different for every individual and what they want to do to improve their lives and to be able to fully participate in the spaces that are important to them. So what does it mean to thrive in your school setting, in your workplace, in your places of worship, or even in recreational activities? We want to not only make sure that those opportunities are offered to people with disabilities, just like they're offered to people without disabilities, but having that sense of belonging and opportunity to flourish is different than just removing the barriers and not just inviting people to the table. We need to make sure that we're doing things on our end to welcome, embrace, and love, and really identify and emphasize and recognize the valuable gifts that people with disabilities contribute. And it is among one another and not to and for and by, but that we're doing this together in a community. And when we do that, we all flourish.
Oh, absolutely. Just the title, though, of your survey, Raising Texas Voices, says a lot. Why is it so important that this project begins with listening as opposed to assuming what people need? Because I guess often they assume wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you're right. Someone who is not living the day-to-day of either being a parent or caregiver to someone with a disability or having a disability yourself, it's hard to know. It's hard to imagine. You might try, you might have the best intentions, but you don't know what you don't know. And if you're not experiencing that, you can try to make decisions, but they often, might not be the best suited. And so I think the importance of saying we want future trainings, we want future disability advocacy efforts to be grounded in what you've told us, right? And what people across the state have said, what they want, what they need, what has worked and what hasn't.
Yeah. You often say that people with disabilities are experts in their own experiences,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
Well, how has that philosophy shaped the center's work?
Well, like we mentioned, listening is a core and defining feature of what we do at the center, is making sure that we're hearing directly from the voices of people with disabilities, their family members, community stakeholders. It is important that we listen and we learn and we connect in such a way that not only does it create communities where everyone feels a sense of belonging and can flourish, but we need to have a better understanding of their lived experiences, and also what they feel is a priority. And Raising Texas Voices is a wonderful example of that. And so many, if not all of our projects have a community advisory board that is made up of community stakeholders, parents and caregivers of individuals with disabilities,
Really?
serving on councils who have the opportunity to speak into the specific project, but we also have an overarching council for our center. So they have the opportunity to speak into how we share out our newsletter, how we develop our website to make sure it's accessible and readable for anyone with or without a disability. But they've also spoken into grant objectives for particular projects because there's a saying in the disability community, there's nothing about us without us. And so it is important that we work alongside people with disabilities, because researchers can't do that in isolation alone to come up with the best solutions or the best outcomes for the population that we aim to serve. We need to understand the needs, and we can only understand that best when we connect directly with this population.
Yeah. You have anything you want to
No, I think
And
ditto.
But I think the other thing about our center that I feel is unique and very special is, Kari is sitting here as an employee of the center and sharing a very personal experience as a mother of a child with autism. And several of our employees either identify as having a disability or have a child or family member with a disability. And so that lived experience, to honor and see the value in that, but also to live it out, is really important to us in our mission that we continue to strive for at our center.
Absolutely. So much more I want to talk to the two of you about. I want to find out how about your own personal journey and what brought you to the Baylor Center there. But I'm going to take a quick break. I want to tell you today's show is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You can transform your home with our premium window, door, and siding installation services. Universal Windows Direct, Central Texas, makes upgrading your home simple and stress-free. Call Universal Windows Direct, Central Texas today. They are located in Woodway. Stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
We're celebrating the Declaration of Deals at Allen Samuels in Waco. Right now, get $13,000 off a new Ram 1500 Lone Star, plus 2.9% for 72 months. Cash in on $13,000 off a new Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab, or choose 0% for 36 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Feel secure with America's best full-size truck powertrain 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty at Allen Samuels.
Come by.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
We We'd ride our bikes 3 miles down to Mr. Johnson's fence. With fishing poles, we'd find an old tank and cast lines again and again. We'd spend hours on end, not catch a darn thing. We got caught and Mr. Johnson kicked us off the place. What I wouldn't give for one more day in the sun. Me and the boys riding around having summer fun. What I wouldn't give for just a weekend. Live like the 90s again. We drink beer on the tailgate of that beat up Ford. Burned our first smoke on the edge of Mama's porch. To the station for a fountain drink and a Slam Jim. Talk about girls we never had the nerve to talk to them. What I wouldn't give for one more day in the sun. Just me and the boys riding around having summer fun. What I wouldn't give for just a weekend. Live like the 90s again. What I wouldn't give for just a weekend. Live like the 90s again. Live like the 90s again.
That's hung down, brought down, hung up, and hung over. They got me hung down, brought down, hung up, and hung over. Because the party didn't stop till it's further seemed to be so. Yeah, I'll be back if you love you. That's what I told her. Now hung down, brought down, hung up, and hung over. Well, I hope that I'll never ever do it again. But tonight I'm back. I brought all my friends. We're getting hung down, brought down, hung up. I said hung down, brought down, hung up. That's it. Hung down, brought down, hung up, and hung over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Allen Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. And so I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
If I had somebody that was looking for a car, I would definitely recommend Allen Samuels. The trust that I have, the care that they take, they genuinely want to take care of you. They really ask for your feedback when you go to the support department to make sure they're taking care of you in every way possible. So I really appreciate that they listen to your feedback.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Alan Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
And we are back talking with two of the driving forces behind Baylor's Center for Disability and Flourishing, Kari Maddox, who is program manager for the statewide research initiative Raising Texas Voices, and Dr. Kristen Padilla, who is the director of the Baylor Center. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. I mean, what brought you to Baylor and to this particular work? Is this the kind of thing you knew you always wanted to be involved with in working with and about folks with special needs?
For me personally, I grew up here in Waco, Texas, and attended Waco Public Schools. And when I went off to college, I did not know what I wanted to do in life. I majored in psychology and sociology, and I really enjoyed just the neurodiversity of experiences and really the brain and how it operates and how it could operate so differently for different people. Mm-hmm. After graduating from college, I started to look into just different experiences, and I came across a preschool teaching opportunity. And so at that point, I recognized that I really enjoyed the field of psychology, but also loved working with children in classroom settings. Mm-hmm. And that led me to the field of school psychology. So I came back to Baylor to get my degree in school psychology, and I did practice in Waco ISD schools as a school psychologist. And there I did behavior consultation, assessment for determining eligibility for children in special education. Mm-hmm. And I was also the contact for an autism unit on the campus. So that is really where I got my first deepest dive into the area of autism. And then I had the opportunity to come to coordinate the Baylor Autism Resource Clinic that was founded by Dr. Julie Ivey in 2007. I was actually a student there at the time and participated in some of the first ever social skills groups for kids with autism. And so to come back as an employee to oversee that clinic, that was the seed to the development of the Center for Disability and Flourishing a few years later, has been a really fortunate blessing and opportunity for me just to see where it started, to see where it is now, and to see where it's going.
Oh, what a great history. I'm so glad you shared that with us. Okay, so Kari, what about yourself? What brought you to this point?
Well, it's always my joke to say, if you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be sitting here doing something like this, I would have laughed at you. I would have said,
me too.
That's funny.
With you.
So, many moons ago, I was a teacher. I taught first grade and then met my husband. We got married, started our family, stayed home with them. Emmy was diagnosed right before she turned 3 with autism. And so that, it changes a lot hearing that diagnosis and getting that.
Yeah. What did you notice? What made you feel like you needed to get her tested?
Yeah, we started to notice that she was, as your child, when they're young, they go through all these well checks and all these, milestone, or they
rolling over and all that stuff.
They're meeting all these milestones. And so physically she was doing fine, but we started to notice around 6 or 7 months old, she wasn't talking like she should have started, kind of babbling, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then around her first birthday, like at that point, she was starting to say words and starting to talk a little bit. And then right after her first birthday, it just stopped completely. And so that was that first kind of a little bit of the red flag of something's not right here. And so she started speech therapy, she started occupational therapy, and then upon the recommendation of her just pediatrician, they said, I think she needs to see a developmental pediatrician. And then we got on the wait list and had to wait a year to get that appointment. Wow. That's probably one of the hardest years of our life as a parents and a family. Just the anxiousness of what will we find and what will they say, and kind of that feeling of, well, maybe we can fix this in this year, and it soon began to be very clear that it's not something that we can fix. And so we brought her that appointment, and that's where she received her diagnosis. While that was very hard and very life-altering for us, it also opened so many doors for her to receive therapy, for us to be able to understand her better and to start to be able to help her. And, if you met Emmy today, you would see a spunky, sassy 14-year-old girl.
Oh, wow, she's
with
14, yeah.
all the opinions and just the light of our family.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, so once she was diagnosed, life changes. You're going back and forth to therapies all over the place. And a couple of years ago, I told my husband, I think the Lord is calling me to go back to school. And he knew it was serious, because I had said I will never go back to school. And here I was saying, I think I need to go back to school. And so at that point, I thought, well, maybe I'll go back and be a special ed teacher or something like that. And so I started the master's program at Baylor, and was connected to Kristen and the center through a program that I did, and met Dr. Eric Carter through that, and was brought on to do help with the research project. And really kind of under his wing because I knew nothing about research, nothing, learned about this process and really started to fall in love with it. And my second joke is always, I just kept hanging around until they started paying me. So that's where I am now. When Emmy, when we first started this journey with Emmy, I always prayed, God, let me have a way to use what we've experienced to help other people.
Right.
And I never knew exactly how that would look. And this is how it looks right now in this season.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful for that I can help other families and bring, like Kristen said, some of that lived experience to projects, and be that kind of reminder of, we're asking parents to fill out this survey. It's kind of long. Like, let's be mindful of that, things like that. So that's kind of how I stumbled into this work and just really, really enjoy it.
That's wonderful. The center, of course, is dedicated to research initiatives, and Baylor is just expert in doing it. Was a research institution too. Tell us about the ideal study and how it can make a difference for Latino families.
Yes, so that's one of our growing areas of research at the center is culturally and linguistically responsive assessment and intervention, particularly for Spanish-speaking families in Texas and beyond. And Project Ideal is a partnership with the University of Texas at Austin, the Texas Center on Disability Studies there. We have some wonderful colleagues there that we partner with on lots of projects. Ideal stands for Identifying and Distinguishing Early Indicators of Autism in Latino Children. And what we know about Latino children is they tend to be diagnosed much later than their peers, or they're misdiagnosed with another diagnosis as opposed to autism. And we're trying to understand why. And so we follow their language, communication, and social development over the course of 3 to 5 years, depending on when they enter the study, to see if there are any distinguishing characteristics that arise from Latino children, whether they be from mono or bilingual homes, that could help inform early identification of autism in Latino children. So is there something about within their culture or their language that we need to be considering, or maybe that we're missing, that's contributing to later diagnosis of autism, which we know it's important to identify early because we want children to get intervention as early as possible, but that can't start until they're identified.
Right.
And so we're really hoping to make an effort in assessment tools that are more culturally and linguistically responsive.
Yeah. If someone should participate in a survey, either on one of these surveys, what kinds of stories or experiences are you looking for that you want to hear?
I mean, any and all of them. All of them are helpful. Sometimes when we interview participants, they'll say, "Oh, I don't think that's a helpful story," or "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that." And what I like to encourage is that even your non-answer is an answer.
Is an answer, yeah.
If you don't know about this thing, that's something to tell us we're not doing a good job at communicating. Like if I were to ask, what resources does your community have? And they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know." Well, for me, it's like, "Oh, well, that's
a
an
problem.
indicator that we need to give back to the Texas Council. Like, hey, people don't know about what's offered in their communities. This needs to be improved upon."
Yeah, for sure. When someone completes a survey, where does the information go? How does it help with advocacy and services?
I think it's different for every study that we do. So for Raising Texas Voices specifically, we gather all that information. We use some sort of platform that we pay for. And then from there, we look at it and we analyze it. And so, for each question, we can say 95% of mothers say that they wish they had, more support in, whatever area. And so it's collected and looked at towards the end of the process.
So yes, I just wanted to add, it looks completely different, but it's all stored in some protected database.
Right. It's right.
Yes, it's
you don't have to worry about it being sold somewhere.
It's de-identified information. We never use identifiable information for our participants, and we put it into a secure database. And like Kari mentioned, it's analyzed in could be multiple ways. Some are more of a storytelling and sharing out in a qualitative way of what are the themes that arose in this data analysis. And some may be more on the descriptive or inferential statistics, so kind of in a different way of presenting some numbers and putting some numbers to the data as well.
Another project is Project Advance. What are researchers hoping to glean from this one?
So in this particular study, it is also a statewide research project assessing disparities in voices, needs, and healthcare equity. So we're trying to identify through the Pennsylvania Autism Needs Assessment, which is a widely used instrument across the United States, is what does that look like as it relates to the state of Texas? So a few states have implemented this particular survey, and it has been attempted previously in the state of Texas, but we wanted to pour more resources into what are the barriers that individuals with autism are experiencing, parents that they're experiencing, what are some unmet needs, what are some of their concerns related to satisfaction of services, but also what do they have access to, because we are learning from English and Spanish speaking families, but also in rural and urban communities. So a little bit different from Raising Texas Voices, but again, we're just trying to hear from those with the lived experiences. So we're looking for adults with disabilities, in particular autism, but also parents and caregivers. And through this has been an iterative process. We first got input from actually our local Spanish support group. So thank you to our local parents here who gave us feedback and said, hey, we wouldn't say it this way, or we don't really understand that question. So they were the first component in this process of adapting the survey. We then developed a community advisory board made up of parents of individuals with autism, service providers, those who also work with individuals with autism in bilingual communities. And they provided feedback on the survey as well. And the third part of this process is this assessment, although it's been widely used across the United States, has never been validated. And so we developed a board of subject matter experts who provided feedback on the validity of the items used to assess needs for individuals with autism or parents. And then we're going to incorporate all of that data to launch into a statewide survey at the probably early fall to then provide some validity evidence to the use of this instrument in identifying these particular needs in the state of Texas.
Wow. If someone's listening and says, well, I'd like to help, how easy is it for them to participate, and how do they go about doing that?
For Raising Texas Voices, all you have to do is you can go to our website. From there, it's just raisingtexasvoices.org.
Mm-hmm.
There is a link you can click on where you sign up to take the survey. From there, you answer just a couple of screener questions just so that we can make sure you meet our eligibility, so that you live in Texas, you're 18 or older, you are a parent or caregiver of someone with a disability, or you have a disability, or you're a sibling. And then from there, we will send you your link to the survey, and you can take the survey online. We also offer, we can mail you a paper copy of the survey, or I can sit on the phone with you and read the
Just
survey
do it live,
to you
yeah.
and check the answers for you.
And I was just going to say, on a broader scale, I know we're highlighting these three projects, but we have so much going on at the center in the areas of faith and disability, transition to adulthood, families, as well as education. So we have research studies that are going on. We have trainings or workshops that we're offering to the community, and then just also community events. So if you want to learn more about our center, you can follow us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, or visit our website at baylor.edu/disability.
You're doing so much. You're doing so much. I'd like to hear from both of you, though. What is a misconception you think that people have about disability you'd like to clear up?
I think it's the ability part. When people, they have this perception of people with disabilities, there's a tendency to focus on what they are not able to do. And we want to shift that perception of focusing on the strengths and the gifts and the skills and that they bring to the table, and focusing on their ability. And
I agree.
Yeah, that's good.
I also think that, there's also a saying with autism, if you've met one person with autism, you have met one person with autism, meaning that, you might know somebody who's autistic, but it does not mean that what they are, what their strengths, what they might struggle with is the same as someone else. And so I think always holding that everyone is so different, even when you have a disability, right? And so, remembering that for sure.
I think the other thing that I would add is that, two things that I would add is one, that disability has a look. When people say, well, they don't look autistic, or that disability looks a certain way, and there are visible, but there are also invisible disabilities. And so it doesn't have a particular look, and it manifests differently in every single person, especially, with autism. It's a spectrum disorder.
It's a spectrum, yeah. So you get all kinds of variety.
Yes.
And
Absolutely. And so I think shifting that perception as well as that disability has a particular look.
Yeah. Do you have hope for the future as we are here in Pride, the Disability Pride Month? What are your hopes as we celebrate this month?
I feel the most hopeful I ever have for, me personally as a mom, and for the disability community widely. I think that the work that the center is doing will make an impact and change. I've said before, I don't feel like I'd be doing this if I didn't feel like change would come. And so I think that that provides a lot of hope for me and our family and for families all across the state.
Yeah. Well, what encourages you as you talk with families?
I think, I was at an event last night and had some parents there filling out the survey for us. And, they all mentioned like, gosh, these are questions, again, that I wish I would have been asked kind of along the way. The parents that were there all had a son or daughter with a disability. And so they were just so excited that there was something like this going on, that there's a center, the Center for Disability and Flourishing, that is working so hard to promote the flourishing of people with disabilities. And so getting to see the parents excited about that was really exciting for me. And it's kind of that spark to keep you going when the work gets tough. And also to be reminded why we're doing it and who we're doing it for.
Yep. One more time, how can folks learn more about the Baylor Center for Disabilities and Flourishing?
They can follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Okay.
And you can always visit our website, baylor.edu/disability.
Thank you both so much for spending some time with me today and telling your story and all the good, encouraging things there are. As we all just embrace one another and we all try to flourish. Huh?
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
It's our declaration of deals, and savings are moving fast at Allen Samuels Jeep in Waco. Get a 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport for just $32,990, or take $10,000 off a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. Or qualified buyers can get 0% APR for 36 months and no payments for 90 days. Don't stand still. Drive today. Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
This is a Rogue Media Network production.